Aristotle once famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit." So, hopefully, by the time you guys have seen this, by the time you guys are seeing this right now, I would have uploaded a video of me waking up at 4 a.m. so I can go for a run outside at 5 a.m. every day for a week. Now I'm hoping I've got that video all together and uploaded, and I'm making this one as kind of like a follow-up. So I essentially carried on that running ritual routine, however you want to call it, and essentially I ran 60 kilometers, maybe a little bit more than that, just because I don't really trust Apple Health. But essentially, that's what happened. I've effectively ran 60 kilometers. So I want to talk about the improvements I made from the end of the week, from the end of that video, till now. So effectively, from this point now, I've ran the same distance, the same course, if you will, and I I kind of I kind of managed to get to zero. So like zero stops. So like if you saw the last video, you will know that I only managed to get to one stop, and that was it by the end of a week. So I didn't hit my target, which was to like be able to do it non-stop, zero stops, zero rests. Um, so the day after that, that video finished effectively. I stopped filming. I still had one rest. Day after that, I still had one rest, and then the 10th day, I I didn't have a rest. I was able to do it non-stop, and pretty much from that point onwards, I've just been able to do the same route non-stop. And I decided I wanted to push myself a little bit. So what I'd also do is some like even in the bad weather days, I still went out and did it. I still went out and ran. I mean, if anything, it was acted as an incentive for me to run slightly faster, just so that I could get home earlier, so that I wouldn't be out in the cold and wet weather. I also wanted to increase my distance over time, so I did. So I also started running on the treadmill as well, and what that allowed me to do was it allowed me to increase the amount I was running. So technically, I've run more than 60 kilometers, but for the purposes of just acting as if I've done the same distance, I haven't. I've done more, but we'll say 60 kilometers as a lower bound anyway. So what I would do on the treadmill is I would increase it, and currently, at the time of this recording, I'm actually able to do well 2 miles, which is exactly 3.2 kilometers. The treadmill measures it in kilometers, and I've been able to do 3.2 km, which is 2 miles non-stop. That's pretty good. And the time on that, I think my fastest time on that's been about 23 minutes, also 23 to 24 minutes, um, which is it's okay. It's not bad. It can get a lot faster, of course, and I'm hoping by the end of the year I can probably do it, as in I could do 2 miles within about 15 minutes. That would be really great. I'll probably make a video at the end of the year just as a further progress update. So that's in a couple of months now, which is crazy to think that in a couple of months it will not only be the end of the year, but it'll be the end of a decade, which hits blunt. That's effectively been my progression, and what I want this video, I suppose, to come out as a message is that consistency does pay off. I feel. I feel as though consistency is something that's really, really valuable. And persistence, I suppose. I suppose persistence is probably the more appropriate word to use here. I guess just carrying on, basically. Like, I feel as though being able to just say, okay, I'm meant to do this thing, I'm going to do it anyway, is a good thing. I feel as though that does help substantially because it creates discipline effectively. I wouldn't have started if I'm very grateful that I decided to make that video, because that video effectively changed my life in one sense. Like, I always wanted to start running like properly, but I always felt really awkward going out, and I have run before, but it just feels a little bit awkward. But this time I decided to do it because of a YouTube video, and because of that YouTube video it prompted me to actually get up and go do that run, and then continue that running streak for a week. And then by like, I'd say the second day, actually maybe even the first, I didn't feel awkward. I felt alright. I didn't feel like weird running. I felt like it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I wasn't focused on what other people were thinking. I was just focused on, let me finish this run. Let me lower my stopping time stoppages, and let me increase my speed of running. And because of that, it's allowed me to create this habit of running every single day, and that has effectively changed my life for the better because it's made me a healthier person. It's increased my stamina dramatically. I could probably stop running for about a week and a half. I could probably stop running for about a month, and if I came back to it, I wouldn't be so detrimentally affected. I'm not going to by any means. Like, God, no. I enjoy running now. I think, like, I remember when I started off doing this, I really hated running. Like, it just hurt. But I tried to learn to just get over it anyway and just get it done. And I feel as though that act of just doing was something that was very valuable. Because I managed to just get up and do it, it made me a better, healthier person, I suppose. Hopefully, I can do 5 km. That'd be a pretty good target, I think. 5 kilometers, or at least 3.2 km, so 2 miles, in 15 minutes. I feel as though that's a good target. So the point I'm trying to emphasize in this video is that I am able to now do a 3.2 km, 2 miles, run in about 23 to 25 minutes, so let's just give it that time span, with 0 stops. That's what happened, and this is coming from the person that went on about a 2 kilometer run, and I stopped like, what, 4 or 5 times or something like that. That's crazy. It doesn't seem like it's such a substantial difference, saying, okay, let's say even the lower bound, 4 stops to 0 stops. Doesn't sound like a lot, like a big difference, but it is a big difference. But to say from going from 2 kilometers, which is 1.25 miles, 1.25 miles, into 3.2 kilometers, which is 2 miles, with 0 stops. Now that sounds like a big difference. 2 kilometers, 4 stops, versus 3.2 kilometers and 0 stops. That's a pretty big difference. So that's what I want to emphasize in this video, that if you can just go out and try it just a little bit, just take that little action, you will eventually be able to you'll be able to get a lot better, especially physically. Physically is one of the best ways to do it, I think. I mean, you are in control of your own body. You can do